Hi, I'm Julie Mack and welcome to Craft Time. The project I'm going to show you how to make today is this recycled paper bead cuff. It's kind of a two-parter. First we'll make the beads and then I'll show you how to thread them into a cuff. Let's get started.
You will need the following supplies: colored pencils, bamboo cording, recycled paper, a glue stick, 2 tapestry needles, and a pair of scissors. Depending on what type of paper you've selected, you might want to add more color to your page. This works best on non-glossy or matte paper using colored pencils. If you're using glossy magazine pages, you can skip over this coloring step. Next, you will cut your page into long, thin triangles that are approximately 1 inch wide at the base, narrowing as you reach the top. Keep in mind that the 1 inch base of your triangle will be the height of your finished bead. Make sure to cut one of the 1 inch triangles in half to create 2 half-inch triangles. These will be the beads you use for the closure. Once you have your triangles cut, you can begin to create your beads. Use the glue stick to coat the back of a single triangle, leaving a small gap at the base that is not covered in glue. Beginning at the wide end, start rolling the triangle into a small tube, leaving enough space to thread the cord later on. Wrap the remaining paper as snugly and as centered as possible to get a nice symmetrical bead. If you want your beads to be extra durable, you can apply a thin coat of Mod Podge to the finished bead and let dry overnight. Next, arrange all of the beads in height order with the tallest bead at the center of your cuff. They should all be very similar in height, but taking the time to do this extra step will produce a more even bracelet. Now you will need the bamboo cording. To figure out what length your cord needs to be, measure the intended wrist and multiply that number by 3. Cut 2 pieces of cord to this length and knot or double knot them together. Next, you will need the 2 tapestry needles. Thread 1 piece of cord through the first needle and the second piece of cord through the second needle. Both pieces of cording should have their own needle. Set your first threaded needle to the right of you and the second threaded needle to your left. To begin threading your cuff, start with one of your 2 smallest beads. These will form the toggle closure when you're all done. Thread the first needle through the right side of the bead and set that needle to the left. Then thread the second needle through the left side of the bead and set that needle to the right, keeping the knotted cord and first bead centered in front of you. Then you will gently tighten the cord around your bead, pulling on each end. Try to keep the bead centered as much as you can. Centering the first bead is the most important because it creates the basic structure of your cuff. Repeat these steps, threading each bead from opposite sides and tightening the cord as you go along, keeping your beads as centered as possible. Once your cuff reaches your desired length, thread the remaining small bead just as you threaded all of the other beads. Remove the tapestry needles and knot the two pieces of cord together. To wear your finished cuff, wrap around your wrist and then twist the two smaller beads around one another several times to secure.
And that's how you make a recycled paper bead cuff. Join me next time for another fun project on ocfamily.com. I'm Julie Mack, and that was Craft Time.